challenged you here to check out the new Air Warriors Spin Blast. This is by Busby, of course, and it is a miniaturized version of the Spinfire that came out, and I absolutely loved. It's one of my favorite, basically non-dart blasters. Doesn't fire darts, it shoots little helicopter-style spinners, but one of the most fun things that any of the blaster companies has put out, and I stand by that. This basically takes that, miniaturizes it into a pocket-sized format, and it makes the spinners, instead of being about that big around, they're itty-bitty. Teeny tiny. Still pretty easy to find in the grass, though, so thankfully they didn't go the way of, like, say, some blasters with rounds that you can't find anywhere. Speaking of Nerf Hyper. I hate trying to pick those things up. This doesn't go that far, though. But what it is basically takes that little spinner and puts it into a pocketable, palm-sized format. But before we go further into that, I want to give a shout out to CR Nerf, which of course that's Cedar Rapids Nerf. He shows up in basically anything to do with dart blasters, YouTube channels, Discords, and Facebook pages all over. He sent me the shirt, so big thank you to him. Want to give him a shout out here right at the start. But back into the topic of today's video. The Air Warrior Spin Blast. Now, I have had this thing going on for exactly a week now, and I've played with it, enjoyed it, taken it outside and fired it all over in the workshop, fired it in the house, had the cats getting skittish because the discs go flying everywhere and bounce off of stuff. Had my wife and girls try it. Everybody has had fun with it. So, key thing, spoiler, we're not going to go up and do this as a normal dart blaster review because it's not a dart blaster. It's a helicopter disc firing blaster. Has more in common with some of the classic toys, like the little pull powered ones that launch up like an actual little, sometimes little toy helicopter or a figure, or ones that really came to mind were the little video clips that you can find of like a little girl pulling a launcher and it shoots off a little doll. And I remember one clip has been everywhere that she launches it and goes into the fireplace. That, I don't know why, but that came to mind immediately when I started using this. It's like, well, at least if this went into the fireplace, you'd have 9 others. Because it comes with 10 of these little spinners. And here's the kicker. Blaster, 10 spinners, $5 at your local Dollar General. I went ahead and bought 2 of them for myself so that, you know, at the very least, maybe my wife and I can try to tag each other back and forth. But that's not going to be real easy. Because I'll put up a firing clip here right now. We'll just slide one out. You have to remember the ridge side goes out, has all the bumps, and then load it on the front. Give it the full amount of twists. It actually does have a hard stop, even though it says 3 to 5 twists. It does actually have a hard stop right there. That's the maximum. Claim 70 feet. If it makes it past or even around the tree is 65 feet to my back deck. And of course, here we are off the side of my house, so well past that. Okay, landed right over there. We'll give it another try. They keep sailing off camera. Let's try one more. There is a crosswind blowing from our right to the left, and they're definitely getting caught in that. Okay, slow loading, so I'll fire it off to the right more. Oh, that's gone. I still haven't had one land on camera in frame. Keep in mind, this is one of the drawbacks to it. Real-time loading for real-time experience here. And there you go. Finally got one on camera. And as you can see, you don't really get a whole lot of consistency. When you load this, which is quite simple, I'm going to come in close here. The little spinners are not dual-sided exactly. It has ridges on one side, and the instructions tell you to put the little notched or ridge side out. And then when you put it in, you then crank it. 3 to 5 turns is what it says. But I have found it has a hard stop at the end. So we're going to go all the way. And it does stop. And boom, there. No more turning. And then you can fire. And it did a whole corkscrew into my dart catcher. I did actually hit it, so kudos to me. Actually did get it to go in there. But actually trying to hit a target, well, 2 problems. The spinners go kind of all over, and then they will kind of settle in, or sometimes they'll veer out. And they don't go super fast. And no, I don't have a chronograph that I can fire these over. It's not really the point of them. It's meant to be more of a fun toy, not really a competitive dart blaster. Because again, it doesn't fire darts. But these little spinners, and it does hold all 10, actually right here in the grip, it's got a little slot. You can push it in and they slide down so it can have all of them stacked in, almost like a magazine, except, well, you push out of this notch right here and they pop out of the handle. You can pull it and then load it in the front, line it up with the 2 little teeth, spin it, and that's the other little downfall, is that some people complained immediately of these are angled little blades in the spinner, and you are turning with those. So it ends up kind of pinching your fingers a little bit. But it only comes into play once you've done like 5, 10 at least in a row. And then once it's ready, fire. And there it dinged off my dryer. Yeah. I aimed at the exact same spot as the first one. First one went right into the dart catcher. Second one went shoom, down. But that is the only real downfall, is that, one, if you're doing it a bunch, it will start to kind of grate on your fingers a little bit. And 2, you're not going to be real accurate. However, I don't think that's the point of it, and if I tried to make it the point of it, I think I'd be missing the point. The point is that these are a $5 little toy that kind of could end up being like a little classic. I really do think that. I don't think I'm overstating that. This is the kind of thing that you could just, hand off to somebody, and within 3 seconds, they figured out how to use it. You just, again, take the disc or the spinner. You don't have to go all the way to the end. A few turns do it good enough to fire it, and you can have a few of these going back and forth. You're going to be able to dodge and duck and dive and dip and weave, and yeah, I missed the 5D there. But you can do their 5Ds of dodgeball and have fun with this and actually dodge it, because it's coming at you slow enough, like old Vortex. If you remember, if you're like me and you've used Vortex for years, we used to have to put out a spread of Vortex discs going at somebody to try to hit them because they move so slow. This is much the same, except, slow rate of fire. But at $5, it's something that I don't think anybody would ever regret picking up. And I think that's the key. It's cheap enough and fun enough, nobody would ever regret buying one of these. So everybody pretty much should get one of these just to try it out. And don't look at it as a competitive dart blaster. Look at it as literally a few dollars worth that gives you quite a bit of fun. You can set up a soda can and try to see who could hit it at the farthest away. And it's going to take a few tries. But, fun enough game at a, backyard grill out. And that's a place that this can fill. It's a role it can fill. And I think it can do a good job at it. A little bit of fun in the backyard with the family, with friends, at a cookout, at a, get together. And again, it's $5 at your local Dollar General. Really, really hard to go wrong there. So I give it a huge thumbs up. I've had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, it's not perfect. It's not pinpoint accurate. It's not high rate of fire. It's you know, little slow to load, but it's fun. And there's the key thing. That's the Air Warrior Spin Blast. It's the mini version of the Spinfire. And I love the Spinfire. And this didn't disappoint. I've already got 2 of them. I'll probably get a few more. So, there's my endorsement. Bought it myself, and I'm going to go buy more. So, hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.